Brave were continuing on into April.
So this is a new custom built bimini. It's not a hard top, it could easily be, we just didn't put a hard top on it, but we've actually just done it with a really high quality PVC on the top, and it's been lashed. And we've got clears that will come in when we've finished working on the boat. The clears will go in and go right the way around. New main just gone on, the stack pack's being made as we speak, and then the new Genoa went on yesterday. This here, probably interesting for all you 450 flybridge owners. This is a cover we've had made up. It's a bit grubby at the moment because the whole boat's grubby. They've bent a track in through here, all the way down and around, so you can see that track, and then put this cover in. Now that's to stop all the water that comes straight down into the cockpit.
Brave was receiving final touches with new sails and sail bag. Mum was super excited about the clears, but Dad was salivating over his new sail drives.
This is the starboard engine room. It's been cleaned out. Brand new SD60 sail drives. Still on the same motors, but they're in really good condition, so they've had a full service. But yeah, brand new SD60s in there. So the glass repair work's been done in here now, replacing that area, those dry areas on the hull. This looks awesome. They ground all the dry stuff out, and there's 3 layers of glass gone on here. This is the bow locker right in front of the windows in the middle. We've pulled the floor out. The floor was that plywood supplied, as it was done in the factory. We've pulled it all out. We've actually put a cost number in down through underneath, through the bottom, and that's all been glassed in. You can't see it now because it's all been done. Here we go, cleaning in progress.
Hello! Getting all your builder's dust off everything.
It's not that bad.
Yes. Oh, depends on where you're looking. That's pretty good.
So we've taken the cover off for the compression post. We've actually been right in underneath, and we've replaced all this wood here. And all this is new wood which we've put in so that we can tidy the boat up.
Work on Brave took us all the way to Easter, and just for a break, we headed south to Auckland to spend Easter weekend with family.
Like in Australia, they worked out that their biggest death rate for driver accidents was during holiday time. So they sort of banded together. It's not a nationwide thing, but just I think various states got together and decided that they would, I'm not sure how it happened, but anyway, they provided like driver assistance, and all these volunteers came out and provided coffee and something to eat, so that drivers would pull over and stop. And we just saw one here, just leaving Whangarei, going down to Auckland for the Easter weekend, and there is so much traffic on the road already heading north. We want to go south to Auckland, but we just saw our first driver pullover station where they're going to provide you with coffee and cake. How cool is that? We've only been driving for like 5 minutes though, so it's not really worth the stop, but very cool for those that are coming north.
We are making the biggest, best cake we have ever made. And if you look on the fridge, you will see what it looks like. And we got it, yes, you know it, from a Woman's Weekly magazine. And no, I haven't spilled flour and sugar twice.
Yeah, at 2 separate occasions all across the table.
And you're getting to use things we don't normally use.
Yes, like the sifter.
Like a big bowl.
Yeah, that's cool, like a big bowl.
Oh yeah, we had butter and flour, but butter and sugar in there. And I went it on to power, and the sugar just went everywhere. So we had to vacuum the sugar off the floor.
Oh my God, can you get your tongue there?
Just get his head stuck in the trough.
Did it work?
Like this one.
Oh, you've got it all under here. Look at you. Oh, ugh.
While the girls were busy cooking an Easter cake with our cousin Amanda, Reef was making friends with the pets, and Che got busy learning to arc weld with Kevin.
Don't be scared of it, they can't hurt you. You might get a spark on you. We call them welder's fleas. So you might get a bit of a welder's flea bite.
You okay?
Yeah, it just gave me a bit of stink. Ouch.
And then it was the drill press. Then Che and I got to play with Kevin's lathe.
All the toys Dave can't fit on the boat.
Egg decorating for Easter. Where are the egg? Oh! Whoops! So, oh, we've got one egg in there already.
Okay, put mine in.
I'm feeling, don't put another one in there, darling. I'm feeling like there's not enough dye in that.
I'm feeling that too.
Yeah.
The Easter Bunny has not gone past the fence, so it's all out here, all the way to the driveway, including the grassed area of the bird bath area. All this patio area, Easter Bunny visited.
One big one each. Yeah.
Whoa, heavy!
It's milk chocolate popping candy. Spending Easter with Kevin and Amanda was so much fun. Full of activities we don't normally do.
While our boat's been on the Hard, this is where we've been staying, and we had a great time there. About 5 to 6 weeks we stayed in that house, and then we had to move out for Easter, so we went down to Coatesville in Auckland to stay with some family, and when we came back we were lucky enough to come and stay in this house. So right next door, we didn't have to move far, and the owners aren't going to be here for a couple of weeks, so they said we could have their house. So this is home for the next couple of weeks. Long before we hauled Brave out at Marsden Cove, we'd been noticing changes in the boat, which along with recent posts in the Lagoon Owners Forum had caused us to suspect that we may have bulkhead issues. Our leeward stays were loose, we had increased creaking when sailing, Dave had found cracked furniture bulkheads, also that our cockpit floor had parted from the bridge deck.
And so with Brave on the Hard, we had the opportunity to pull her apart to locate and fix any problems with the support of a naval architect. So this is the area of the starboard mast bulkhead. Now we have a crack through the bulkhead, and the crack is basically here, and it's come about because a hole was drilled in the bulkhead to accommodate the wiring for the switches and the plugs here. And the crack that we have comes from the outer edge of the bulkhead through to the switches, through to the plug, but it doesn't go any further into the hull. So this is the bulkhead on the port side. We have the same issue. There's a hole that's been cut for clearance for wiring, which you can see in there.
So what we've done here, we've made two posts. One's 130 wide, so it'll go past the big hole in the bulkhead where the switch has been drilled. And so that's 130. So this next one goes in the aft edge of the bulkhead, is 80 mils wide, which takes it right up to the joinery. And this will be glued to the existing bulkhead, which is just slightly crushed, only very, very small. But we want to fix it properly now. So that should cure the compression problem.
So we've got a lot of strength further up where there's extra glass that's
Absolutely.
been put in. So we're not taking that away. We're actually, the Iroko that's going in is being tapered to fit the glass.
Correct.
And it's going all the way from the floor where there's really heavy glass down here.
Heavy glass down here as well. I'm having to grind this part of the post out of the bottom so that it'll fit over that massive glass there. Yeah. But there's no damage. It hasn't let go from the hull or anything. It's just only purely this little piece here, all caused by a big hole.
By the holes cut for the clearance for the electrical.
Yep. So the whole thing ends up around about 63 or 4 mils wide, with the two compression posts and the bulkhead. That's fairly hefty.
Yeah, and it's all epoxied together.
All epoxied together. It's Iroko, it's a hardwood. Timber's very, very strong in compression. And so that's how we're curing this one. Both sides.
Perfect.
Port and starboard.
You can see these two plinths, one there and one over there. They come up from the hull and they join to the cockpit floor. Now, before we came out of the water, it was obvious that there was a gap between the two. But since we're up and the boat's straight, the gap's been closed, and so it appears to be intact, but in reality, it's actually separated. So we are going to do the repair from below and also do some from on top here. So we've cut the top out and they've ground back the gel coat, so we've got the glass here, and this is actually, that's the cockpit floor you're looking at. So now the boat builders can get in and create a really good bond between here and the cockpit floor all the way around. Because actually when this piece was removed, we were able just to, once it was cut, it was able just to pull out, so the glue never really stuck. So these are the pieces that were cut out of the top of the plinths that you could see from down below. When they came out, you can see this is where they were bonded to the cockpit floor, and the glue wasn't really bonded at all, and we see here it's all just nice and smooth. These pieces pretty much just fell out when it was done, but when you start hacking away at it with a chisel, this is what you find. Dry areas of glass again. It's pretty disappointing. This is all original manufacturer stuff. So it's all been coved, and so what you're looking at is this is actually the floor of the cockpit, and it's all been prepared nicely so that it'll take, the new glass will stick properly.
Getting ready this morning. We're off on a surf life-saving day that we've kind of piggybacked actually on the back of somebody else's organised event. Are you looking forward to it, Priya?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be about 15 other families. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Down at Ruakaka Beach. Are you going to behave? Yeah, anyone's guess. You looking forward to it, Che?
Yep.
Rainy day, Chase, so what are we doing?
Well, creating hydrogen. We just attached the glass to the battery
Yeah.
and it made bubbles.
So
come up
what's
and
inside? What have we got in there? You've got
So we've
two
got-
bits of stainless steel
Yep, and 2 wires gone in there.
and some slightly salty water, and the idea is that we're going to try and make hydrogen.
And to
So-
blow it up.
Mum's not very happy. She doesn't want us to do it in the kitchen. What do you say, Che?
I think we should do it in here.
I think we should. Let's blow something up.
Go!
Oh, the thing's bubbling away like crazy in the...
So where's the hydrogen coming out?
The bottle.
Oh, so you're getting hydrogen in your bottle?
Yeah, so the idea is that we create hydrogen in here with all these bubbles, and it comes out through the pipe and comes out through here. How's our bomb going, Che?
Well, the hydrogen is finally making its way as bubbles.
And believe it or not, it's 2 bits of stainless steel in water. They're kept apart, so they're not touching each other, with a 12-volt battery attached. And man, it is going horrible. So in a minute, we're going to light the hydrogen bubbles, and we're going to go boom, shake the kitchen. Boom!
That was more of a puff. While Dave finished the last few tasks on Brave, I took the kids to the races.
Ziegfeld in front at the 150 to Bulkhead. He's coming after it very quickly on the outside. Ziegfeld holding on to Bulkhead. He's getting close but not close enough. Ziegfeld.
Who are you going for?
King Providential.
King Providential. Who are you rooting for there, Priya?
He's a showman.
She's the showman. That was mine.
No, you were Ruby Showoff.
Oh, I'm Ruby Showoff. Sorry.
And I'm thinking that Friendly Fire's going to win.
Friendly Fire. Cool. And Reef really doesn't care. He's only here for the hot chips.
Gates open, they're off on the 1200 metres, no any speed. Chevron got back last. Ruby Showoff settles well back as well. Going, Ruby Showoff well back as they go towards the line. Sympathy, I reckon, just.
This has got to be one of the most scenic race courses in New Zealand. I mean, where else can you see the beautiful hills and the beach? Moving out. And eventually we'll have to get our cushions and carpet out of the garage. Just like that, we're moving back to the boat. Thank goodness, 8 weeks. Sitting in the car, Marsden Marina. Normally you'd have to stop for like cows or sheep crossing the road. But up here in Northland, it's boats. Join us next time when it's our turn to return to the water.